Hello, anybody hear me? What's going on?
Well, you can address the.
Hey, Brewster, we're just waiting for a couple more
Wait.
people to get a quorum here in person. So just sit tight.
Are we still muted?
Still muted.
No.
Myself.
So we're just waiting on a quorum. We need to get one more person here, so
Two more
just hang tight.
One more.
Ah.
One more.
I think we have 6 participants.
Yay,
Cool.
I don't know.
hope's here.
Huh?
There's always hope.
No, I just looked
Right.
right here and could see 6 participants. I don't
Well,
know.
there's 3 up there, and then
Hold that
mine and Leah is there, and the
Okay.
other one's that one.
Ah.
Okay.
It's too bad because I was gonna have pizza for everybody, but you guys, whatever. Yeah.
Yeah.
They made the check out wrong. It should have been in my name. Not that amount, the other amount.
We gotta go that.
It's quite bundled up.
Hi, how are you? Good, thanks. And they're organic. I don't do any chemicals. Sorry,
It's okay.
I know Danielle's on her way as well.
Is she? Okay, good.
That's all day long.
No, it's cold enough. Soap the book is there it goes. And I came in at like 5 to 9 on the dot. So,
Yeah, I was, I don't know, you want to, another door test, it was -9.
it was about -6.
Yeah.
Up where I was, yeah, overnight. When I started the car this morning, it said -6. And it was like -2 when I left the house.
Crazy stuff.
Thank you.
I'll get heat wave tomorrow.
Yeah, big heat wave. It's gonna break 20.
Is that a promise?
I think so. I think so. You can get out your shorts.
I don't think so, but.
I saw a guy get into his car yesterday with shorts on, and I'm like,
It's not
Hi,
like
kids
school
on the bus,
students
with
walking
shorts.
up
Yeah,
in
of
the
course.
parking lot in shorts and a t-shirt.
I think it's kind of a
Yeah.
dare, like that, yeah.
Yeah, there's like a short society because I know there were
yeah,
adult leaders,
yeah.
men that wore their Boy Scout shorts all the time.
I knew some too.
Okay, so my apologies, like I said. First of all, we have a public hearing notice tonight for a proposed donation from Mark and Karen George to the Mascoma Valley Regional School District in the amount of $23,567 for the playground equipment at CES, and another donation of $5,500 from Mascoma Bank for the EVS playground pursuant to RSA 198:20-B. Open up over here. If anyone has comments or questions? Anyone in the public?
Did you say Leah's on there? I was just curious what their connection was to Canaan Elementary.
Yeah, I was gonna ask that myself.
Many thanks, I'm not, yeah.
You can ask her.
Hi Leah, we're just wondering what the folks' connection, the School of George's connection is to CES.
It's a it's a fairly remote connection. The husband went to Dartmouth and had children that currently are at Dartmouth, and he wanted to make some contributions to Upper Valley institutions that needed the help. So he asked for a list of names and gave some sizable donations at the end of the year to, I sent him to West Central Behavioral Services, the Haven, the Family Place, places like that. And in the process, he discovered that I guess he was just willing to help us get a piece of playground equipment that we thought would be good for the kids. We wanted something they could be very physical and do a lot of climbing with for core strength.
Awesome.
And we thought he was going to donate towards it, but instead they've decided to purchase the whole thing and the shipping for us, and maybe a little bit of
Wow.
installation. So yeah, it was quite a gift at the end of the year. So
Many
Yeah,
thanks.
wow.
Many thanks to that. What kind of a piece of equipment is it?
oh, I should have sent the thing along. It's it's sort of an expansive climber that stretches. I think the ground space is about 40 feet by maybe about 30 feet. So it's got, a tiny bit of a climbing wall and a bunch of other sort of climbing pieces. So we had actually, Carrie Hughes helped us pick out what she thought would be appropriate for all the different ages of the kids at CES.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, it's quite a nice.
Will this
contribution.
need us to do any like site work or anything like that, or is it just going to be dropped? Like they can just drop it where we have it?
I think we should be all set with the measurements we took. It should just go kind of where the empty part of the current playground is, sort of in between. There's two entrances in the fence that get you onto the playground. So it'll be sort of past the fence on the playground between those two entrances is about where it will fit, and should
nice.
still leave us enough of a running track for the kids that like to sprint around all the pieces of equipment. So
Cool. Thank you very much, Leah.
yep.
Really fortunate.
Very.
Yeah, we also got quite lucky. It's about a $50,000 piece of equipment that's half off because no one buys playground equipment in December. But because the shipping's so backed up, it shouldn't show up until the ground freezes. I mean, it unfreezes. So we should be all set.
Oh, nice. Nice.
Right. Okay, anyone else have anything to say or any questions? We don't have anybody in the public, do we, Caroline?
We are the only one.
Okay. All right. Well, seeing we have nothing further, I'll close the public hearing at 6:10. And if everyone stand and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. Appreciate it. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Okay, next on the agenda is the approval of both public and non-public meeting minutes of December 14th.
I'll make a motion. We approve public and non-public minutes from December 14th, 2021.
Second.
Kathleen Stacy for the second, thank you. Anyone have any questions or corrections?
It looks fine to me. I'm just going to make a motion to seal the non-public ones after this.
Okay. Anyone, Bruce, do you have anything?
No, I would just ask if, seeing I'm not there, if somebody speaks to one at a time, because I don't know what the public gets, but I can't hear everybody. Everybody starts talking. I don't know, so I'm just asking if one person at a time, because it comes over pretty bad here when I'm trying to listen to you guys on Zoom. Please.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, yep. Okay, if there's nothing further, all those in favor of them, to do roll call, because we do have a member that is remote. I will do the roll call vote for approval of the meeting minutes, both public and non-public. You want to separate them out?
No, we can approve
Okay,
together. I'll just
okay.
make a motion. after.
Just want to make sure everyone's on the same page. For the December 14th of 2021 meeting. So Jim Josephson,
Aye.
Kathleen Stacy,
Aye.
Hope Stragnow, aye. Bruce to go,
Aye.
and Cookie Hebert, aye. Okay. And now we're gonna look for a motion.
Yeah, I'm just going to make a motion to seal the non-public minutes for 5 years.
One second.
Kathleen Stacy for the second. Any further discussion? Okay, seeing none, all those in favor of sealing the non-public meeting minutes of December 14th of 2021 for 5 years. Roll call, Tim Josephson.
Aye.
Kathleen Stacy.
Aye.
Hope Stragnow. Aye. Bruce to go.
Aye.
And Cookie Hebert is an aye, so that passes as well. Thank you, everyone. Public comment? We have, where's Dan? So we're just lost without him. All right, well, next on the agenda, we have a presentation tonight regarding our deliberative session, which is coming up in February. And we have Bonnie Albrecht with us, who is our district moderator. So. Amanda, do you want to lead off with anything, or?
Well, sure. I think we just have Bonnie here to discuss the logistics of the deliberative session. I think we're way less involved than we were last year. I don't foresee, and I could be told incorrectly, but as of this time, there's no emergency orders in place, which means there are no provisions to run a remote or have the ability to access remotely, vote remotely, multiple room session for the deliberative session. But it is Bonnie's meeting, so I will turn it over to her. She can let you know whatever she would like.
I guess that was my question, were we gonna get as crazy as we did last year?
Yeah, I don't have any emergency orders in place to mandate that. We do have the 500 seat auditorium. I think, in my opinion, we have held some 2 concerts and a play there. Those were fairly full, but we were able to socially distance those people that needed to be socially distanced. If you'd like, Bonnie, we could do have the mask requirement again, but I could also do like we did before and have the room for the people that preferred not to wear masks or had a medical exemption. But I'm open for any suggestions that you might have.
Well, if we have a separate room, it means I have to have a second moderator.
Right.
And honestly, the only 2 people that used it last year was the moderator and his wife.
Correct.
So, I mean, I guess I need to leave that up to you, whether you think it's necessary. I don't think it is, because Cindy and Steve come every deliberative, and they've always sat in the auditorium.
Yeah.
And, you know, I think, and they are anti-mask, so they're the ones that are at risk.
Sure, and I think that would be fine, and we can even maybe section off I'll partition off a section of the auditorium where they could sit too, for non-masking.
Yeah, I like that idea.
Warrant articles?
I'm sorry?
Do we have any controversial warrant articles?
We do not, we're very
So
straightforward.
chances are, we're not gonna even have as many as we had last year, we had about 20 people.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you have a copy of the warrant articles,
I
Bonnie?
didn't
We have
get-
not sent that to you?
warrant yet, Mark.
Do you have some of those, Rob, please? We'll get you those.
It's controversial, I don't.
Yeah, no, they're very straightforward. It's the budget, it's the budget,
Support staff.
100, the support staff contract. Oh, look at Rob, he's so good. $150,000 for the facilities capital reserve, $5,000 for the accreditation, $25,000 for the special ed capital reserve. Did I miss one?
No, there's only 3.
No,
Look at
It's
me.
just the normal.
yeah,
Is that
it is.
less than normal, yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty straightforward.
We usually like have 5 or 6.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, normally we might do like, computers and technology, or we might do like cafeteria equipment or.
Yeah.
We're good.
I don't foresee any problems. I haven't heard any scuttlebutt about the bathroom,
We're good?
and we're usually the
Oh,
loudest.
yep. Yes, you are.
Oh, no.
Yes, we usually know right where you stand. Yes, we do.
I don't know, I think they even voted against the budget that went down.
No, it passed everywhere. Yeah, it was
We
wonderful.
usually do.
It was wonderful.
Yeah.
It was wonderful last year. So we do have an increase in our budget. What was our overall increase, Rob?
Just under 3%.
Just under 3%. Most of that increase, I do believe, is coming from special ed, some unanticipated out-of-district placements. So that was a huge portion of that. Rob will have more materials as we get closer, just to have some visuals to share with people about why the budget did go up. So we.
Rob, are you in finance?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yes,
That's okay, we haven't met yet, I guess you.
nice to meet you. The new business administrator this year.
Yeah. Great.
So, yeah, pretty straightforward.
Yeah, well, if anybody needs anything from me, just let me know. And I heard we're taking the second Saturday?
No?
February 5th, I believe, is
The first Saturday.
Oh, you are taking the first, okay,
Yeah.
I thought Sue told me you were taking the second one.
Last year we did take the second, this year we're back to the first.
Okay, great, the first one. 9 still?
Yes.
Yes.
Perfect.
Yeah, so 8:30 we meet with the attorney usually, as you know, so.
Wonderful.
Perfect.
Glad to see you all here.
Yep. Thank you, Bonnie, we appreciate
Thank you,
you.
nice to see you, thank you for coming out.
I haven't been out of the house today, so I need to
Oh,
warm
good
up
for
the
you,
car.
breaking.
I need to warm the car.
Okay, perfect, thank you. All right. Do we have any questions or anything before Bonnie escapes? Do we have anybody in the public waiting area? No?
She's a tax collector. She's our tax collector too. You want to,
Yeah, I
Yeah.
know, she's a busy woman.
yeah, city clerk, town clerk, everything.
Good night, Bonnie. Okay, so under continuing business, we have an educational issues committee that met on December 16th of
All right.
2021.
Let me see what our minutes say. Okay, so I'll keep it quick. We did a little STEAM presentation, talked about how CES, IRS, and the high school here all received 2-year grants from the DOE here in the state to start coding and robotics clubs through First Robotics. So that's really exciting. That's separate from the AV club Craig's been doing with the kids. So club advisors get them a stipend and get some materials. So kids are excited to start this. It's gonna be really cool. Our local sponsor is Hypertherm. And this is gonna be separate from the grasshoppers that the kids have done in the past with building the robots for First and all that. This is more of a club, kind of like to do it at the local level. AV club's doing pretty well. They're stepping up with that, getting more kids going in, wide spectrum of kids across all grades. Esports has good bit of interest, and so that's pretty cool. Talked about on our board goals, talking about organizing a group for diversity, equity, and belonging. So Angel's going to start looking with her admin team what groups we already have, what does it look like now, and what would a group look like to assemble. How all stakeholders, students, parents, teachers, quarterly meetings, and just kind of take it from there. So she's going to come back to us with more information there. That's pretty much it. Next time we're going to talk about senior service projects, what that might look like, updates on program studies, and other updates. So pretty much it. Anything else? Anything?
No, just the survey results were pretty amazing that
Oh, yeah.
Craig was sharing with us. It was the first day of the survey and they got over 60 responses.
Mm-hmm.
So if that's a test to how many students are interested, then we may be expanding that area.
Yeah.
Great.
Did Angel talk a little bit about, because these are all clubs.
Right.
So she said, we will start with the clubs and then see where there are other curricular connections. So that would be maybe the science, art, math.
Yeah,
So
and then
how is that
also,
going to be handled, or did she talk about that?
yeah, and expanding some of these more tech things into actual classes, like coding classes or things like that. So try to gauge interest with a club to see where we can add classes, I guess. I think that's what the angle she was going for.
So is there going to be like a look at the curriculum?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So there'll be a math review curriculum. So in the curriculum review cycle, we're looking at revamping the math curriculum this summer. So Angel is pulling together groups of teachers to work. So we'll really be training our teachers to write curriculum as well as review the curriculum we have. But that's where we chose to start, was with math. So this summer, that's when that work will be done. And she has a lot of very interested teachers ready to work and help. And it's really powerful when teachers can write the curriculum that they then teach. It gives us some more buy-in. It allows for more professional growth for our teachers. So we're pretty excited for that. So that type of thing is where we'll look at integrating some more STEM activities. We'll look at, down the road, we'll start to really look at science and the current science kits that we've been using to instruct our students for the last few years. So we'll be looking at those and maybe potential ways to write our own curriculum, or even to expand on those, or maybe to find a different program that better fits our needs. So we're sort of baby stepping it right now, but this summer we'll be doing massive amounts of work to improve our curriculum.
So as she goes through that, all of those things.
It's all going to weave together along with a program of studies here, which will feed into the schedule. It's really a tangled web, so it's best to sort of leave it tangled, but improve it as you go along. So.
Good.
It's pretty fun. It's kind of fun work.
Yeah, we had asked her to bring us like a presentation on what everything was happening with STEAM, and so this is kind of where the conversation went.
Right,
And
right,
so, yeah, as you said, it's gonna get integrated, and
right.
good to find out what the kids like, so. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Any other questions? All right.
All right, moving on to finance and facilities. We met on our first meeting of this year, which is January 5th, 2022. Brewster,
Are you gonna do it or you want me to do it?
you can do it.
Okay, well, we met January 5th, 21 minutes, and we were all done. All right, you see the draft minutes in your packet, and I'll fly right to it. It'll be less than 21 minutes. Facilities, Corrado went over all his stuff again, as usual. I did speak to him at the very end of that meeting about the basketball hoop, which I'm pretty sure you got it taken care of. That wasn't really high on the priority, but that's okay. Got to take care of the kids over to CES. So anyway, he gave us the rundown of what went on, what he's got on here. What else I got on here? Talked about the power surge. You know, I still want to bring up later on. I want us to get into solar. We got to get the solar panels going. We're getting away from that. But anyway, Route 4 updates, touched on that again. Business administrator went over the finances, CIP, audit, budget, contract services, cafe services, transportation, driver's education. The auditors were supposed to come either this Thursday or next Thursday. I'm not sure which one it was, but they're coming sometime. And I actually refereed with one of the auditors we used to have with. So I refereed with him this past week over in Interlake. So I don't know if he's coming over or not, but to do the audit, but he's anyway. So that was about it. And Cookie and Hope, we're going to take care of the manifest, and we're going to have a meeting hopefully February 2nd at 1 o'clock. And that's about all I want to bring up, I guess. Any questions or any concerns? Hopefully no concerns. No?
Okay, you're good to go, Brewster, thank you.
Yeah.
All right, superintendent's report, I'll turn it over to Amanda.
Sure, you do have my written report in your packet. As I write these reports, I'm usually about a week ahead, right? So by the time you all see these reports, it's outdated.
It's old news.
It's old news. As you can tell, as you see the letters that I've sent out, we are seeing a lot of COVID, as was expected. It just is what it is at this point. Upping mitigation strategies, most of our principals have moved their faculty meetings to online. We're using that for some of the teacher training this Friday, so Friday's a half day. So we will be using online platforms for some of our presentations rather than trying to fit a couple hundred people in the auditorium. So, you know, just kind of those strategies. As I look at Tim and Danielle, I'm reminded that we have ordered, hopefully they will come in soon, N95 masks. We ordered those at the beginning of last week. Haven't seen them yet, and hopefully they're not as difficult to find as I'm afraid they might be.
Mm-hmm.
So we do have those for teachers. We want to keep our teachers as safe as possible. We want to make sure that our kids feel as safe as possible. So we'd be using those for kids that would need them, but we do have some on order. Probably should put Rob in another order for another case of those. We'll have that done tomorrow just to make sure that we have them coming in. Also looking at our testing. So we do have the capability to test asymptomatic cohorts. We've used that on our basketball teams, which allowed our girls to continue and play last week in Hopkinton. We were able to have negative tests, negative results, and able to let our girls go and play there. We've tested our boys cohorts a couple of times and picked up on a couple of cases that we were able to then put on quarantine. So that's been pretty helpful. We do have some at-home tests. We have a very, very limited amount. So if parents, those are at the schools, the nurses are handing those out for parents that may request them, or if there's a hardship, you know, there, we have very, very limited amount of those, hoping to get more if possible. We are also going to be distribution sites for the saliva tests, which means that if a parent came in and requested a saliva PCR, right, test, we would be able to give that to them. They are then responsible to take that home, register it online, complete all the paperwork, fill it with saliva, and then mail it back in. So we are just simply a distribution site for those. Those we are waiting to pick up at some point in Concord. But we're trying to provide some testing to the best of our capabilities to our students in the district. And I believe the saliva tests we can give out to anyone that might request it.
Yeah.
So it's not limited to just our students.
Yeah.
So anyone that may request it, we just simply hand it to them, and they're then responsible to do it. But we've really taken advantage to the fullest extent of anything that the state is offering to schools for testing capacity.
Yeah,
So.
that's something, sorry. That's
Yeah, I'm done, Tim, I'm done.
Yeah. That's
So I
really-
have a question, when you're distributing these tests.
Yep.
And do you know whether or not, I guess I don't understand, is the person actually coming into the school building to get the test?
They could, it might be a child that is already in the school building that is ill. I don't foresee a lot of parents requesting it or community members requesting it. And those people we wouldn't necessarily let in the building anyway on a good day in a non-pandemic. So it might be we would meet them outside and hand it to them in the car. Yeah, we're not, our standard practice isn't to allow people in, period, so.
Right.
But yes, we don't want any extra COVID in our buildings.
Right.
Thank you.
Are we gonna have any more clinics, like vaccination?
We do, the Sarah Boaz, the nurse at the Indian River School, is scheduling another booster / clinic for 12 to 15-year-olds. So the
Awesome.
boosters for 12 to 15, because they're just, can be re-upped. I don't know the date of that
Right.
yet.
We do have one though on target, or.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes,
so
we do
good.
have one.
And
in
did
the
we
works.
have pretty good, uptake on the past ones?
I think maybe we were servicing 20 to 30 students, so not great. I expect, though, for the booster clinic, I expect for 12 to 15-year-olds, we'll see a pretty strong population.
Danielle?
So a couple of things that I have noticed, the saliva tests are the one through Vault, probably, that's what the
It
state has
feels-
offered.
Yes,
so,
that feels right.
I haven't had any direct experience, but I did request a test for myself to try out,
Yeah.
because I was like to see how hard it is and things like that. So anyone can go online and order one. You only can request one at a time,
Yeah.
or one per person, I
Yeah.
guess is what you should say. So it's not necessarily something that you just order to have around,
Yeah.
like you would an at-home test. It's really more of you have some sort of need and they send it to you. That said, it was supposed to be next day delivery, and that I did not receive it today. So, and then you have to do the test, put your saliva in the receptacle, and then send it back in before you get any results. So it's definitely not a.
Is that the one we have to have like a video with somebody?
I think you can get online with someone. Yeah, I haven't
Yeah.
received the kit yet, so I can't tell you
Oh,
for
okay,
sure.
that's right.
But
Okay.
I will let you know how that goes, because then maybe it will be something that if we have families that were, wonder what that process is like,
Oh, that'd be
I'll,
great.
I'll, I'll give you my
That would
feedback
be
on that. The second thing is that I think it's been really helpful to be able to do some of that cohort testing while here, because it's a good point in time. It's not something that necessarily means that you are never going to get COVID, but it is, in order to kind of move on with your life's activities, it is something that can give you some peace of mind for that moment in time. And then the other thing I wanted to mention is that the old JCPenney building, every Tuesday and Thursday in January from 11 a.m. to 6 p.m., all the vaccines are available, first doses, second doses for ages 5 and up, boosters for ages 12 and up. There's no appointment needed, you don't have to show your insurance, and there's no residency requirement. So even if there was someone up here from another state visiting, they could get all of that. So you just walk right into JCPenney, and that is something that's accessible through the DHHS and Dartmouth Hitchcock and Lebanon Fire Department and EMS. So those are available, and I think the walk-ins are nice so that you don't have to worry about who's getting online to sign up for an appointment and any technical issues that may come about with that, or staying on a phone on a COVID hotline forever and ever to try to get an appointment somewhere. And they did extend the APD drive-through community COVID testing It's now, they started this week 2 hours a day instead of just an hour and 15 minutes. So it is, there are additional slots available for PCR testing within the community.
But you have to schedule online, right, for an appointment?
Right, if you're a patient and you have the MyDH app or patient portal, you can go on and make an appointment. A little known fact is that you can also call the APD hotline, and they always save a few seats. So they can, if you call them before, especially noon, but earlier in the day, yeah, they can sometimes squeeze you in that day.
Good to know. Thank you for sharing all that. Anything else on Amanda's report?
Oh, how many N95s are in a case?
400.
400. Oh, yeah, I would just
400.
order them every week.
Yeah. Well, they're not cheap, so
No, they're not,
people are.
right? But like, you know, a teacher could go, you know, use it for a week and then.
Right,
change
that's
it.
what we're
So,
hoping is that there's a week of life in them.
Yeah.
Are you also, do you have like the paper lunch bags? I know that's something that has been done in healthcare facilities. You put your name on the like brown paper lunch bag,
Yeah.
and you put your N95 in it to kind of air it out
Yeah.
when you're not using it, or if you have a rotation of them so that you can extend the life.
Oh, okay, that's a good
great
idea.
And then
Okay.
it keeps it from other contaminants
Correct.
while it's sitting in the bag.
Yeah,
Okay.
I've also seen some people put either a cloth mask or
Yes.
another surgical paper mask over the N95 or KN95, again, to kind of keep the integrity, and having this one closest to the mouth for
That's
that
good. That's a
filtration.
good idea.
Mhm.
Thank you.
Did anybody,
Go ahead,
You
Brenda.
taking your COVID test right now?
I wanted to tell you that my sister ordered the maybe around New Year's. It took like 3 or 4 days. One of these COVID quick view at home COVID tests, 19 tests. I got 4 of them right here. I got the 2 in each box. I don't take it unless I'm not feeling good. And then you'll know within 10 minutes if you're positive or not. So I don't know. You know, she works at the VA, so I don't know where she ordered it, but I've got those. But I didn't know if you guys know anything about that.
Yes, those are the ones that you could
Yeah.
order through the New Hampshire. New Hampshire was allowing you, and if you signed up for it, you can only do 1 per household though, 1 shipment of the 4 tests. And I can also say that they are accurate.
Yeah.
I know that from use in my household.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
They're also,
Okay.
Yeah, they're out.
You're out.
Thank you,
Like,
Kristen.
You've been out 20 hours usually.
Yeah.
Okay, if there isn't anything further for Amanda, we'll move on to the business administrator's report. Hey, Rob.
good evening. You have my written report in your packet. Pretty much the big news was in December, the joint session for the budget committee and the school board met to approve the budget and to present the default budget as well. The proposed budget comes in at under 3% of an increase. And as we mentioned before, a large part of that is special education anticipated tuition costs. So the default budget is only $155,599 lower than the proposed budget, which also reflects how much of the increase is taken up by things that we have to pay for, mandated special ed costs. So the default budget is works out to be just under 1% of an increase from the current budget. We also discussed the warrant articles tonight when Bonnie was here. Those are all set to go. So we are just prepping for public session and the deliberative session coming up. Also, for the past few weeks, we've been uploading audit documents to the portal for our auditor. They will have a day to come in on Thursday this week to actually finish the audit. So they've only planned for 1 day, which bodes well because they don't think it'll be very complicated, and we should get through that pretty painlessly. And I think you also have the monthly financials for you to look at as well. Thank you.
Thank you, Rob. Any questions for Rob?
Hopefully it's Mason Roberge. That's who I ref with. That's one of them.
I don't have a question, just, I did get a chance to watch that legislative NHSBA review thing that they had. There was like 175 bills or something. It's horrifying.
It's horrifying.
But one of them was, and they did highlight this one. It's Senate Bill HB 1026, where they're talking about providing data in active format. So it's just, I don't know, just sort of a heads up, or I don't know how hard it's to do, or if you have concerns or whatever. So I guess it would be these monthly financials. So just.
I think I know what that is. If I recall correctly, based on what I know from someone who's introduced that bill in the past.
Right.
It has to do with allowing, when we're doing a budget, allowing people access to an Excel worksheet that they can
Right.
change and manipulate,
Yes.
as opposed to a locked, not the monthly financials,
So
but
it's
like,
not necessary, okay, then I was
Yeah.
a little confused. On
yeah,
that.
not the monthly financials, but like the actual
So it's
budget, when we're doing the budget
yeah,
process,
per
yeah.
se, okay.
Because they think that if they're able to have control of like the spreadsheet, they can be like 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, and there you go, now you have a budget.
Okay, yeah.
Cut this, cut that, cut this.
Or someone could go in and write a million,
Yeah. Yeah.
Or they could manipulate it over just to see what, whatever.
It's a mess.
Okay, so it's for budget.
It's a
Yeah.
mess.
Okay. Okay, I thought it was like,
I hope so. I hope they didn't make it worse.
Okay.
But that's,
good.
I'll look at it, but yeah.
All right, anything else for business administrator tonight? Public comment response update, I think we're all set with that.
You're all set with that?
Pretty fluid with that. Okay, so under new business, we're going to do the donations. We actually have 3. We have 1 in our packet and 2 from the public hearing. So the first donation of $23,567 is from Mark and Karen Coolidge, apologize, for CES playground equipment.
I'll make a motion. We accept the donation of $23,567 from Mark and Karen Coolidge for CES playground equipment.
Gotcha.
Brewster for the second. Okay. Any discussion?
They, just to give you a brief,
Little
quick,
background.
background, because I was like, where did these people come from?
Yeah.
Mark went to Dartmouth, and his kids now go to Dartmouth, and they were looking for community organizations to help out. And Leah pointed them towards like the Haven and West Central, stuff like that. And then lo and behold, he found out that they were looking for some playground equipment, and they thought he was just gonna donate towards it. And instead, him and his wife were able to like get it cheap, because it's like no one buys it in December, and was able to get the whole thing. So
That's awesome.
many, many thanks to them.
Great.
Anybody wants to donate money to us, we'll take it.
Absolutely.
All right, anything further? Okay. Roll call vote, Tim Josephson.
Aye.
Danielle Thompson.
Aye.
Kathleen Stacy.
Aye.
Hope Stragnow.
Aye.
Brewster Gove.
Yes.
And Cookie Hebert is a yes unanimously. Thank you very much. We are very appreciative of your donation. Next, we have the donation of $5,500 from Mascoma Bank for the EVS playground.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
I'll make the motion for the $500 from the Mascoma Bank for the playground.
And Tim, second?
Sure.
Okay. Any discussion?
Many, many thanks.
Many
Mascoma Bank.
thanks.
Is this from the bank itself or an anonymous?
No,
Oh,
the bank
it's
is
from the bank itself, wow.
Honestly, they'll take it out of my account, I'm fine with it.
Oh yeah, there was some fine print on this check here. I don't know.
Yeah, my name's not on it, so,
Okay.
okay.
They must be closing in on their total, yeah?
Yeah.
That's great. Yeah. Okay, so we'll do a roll call vote for the approval of the $5,500 donation from Mascoma Bank to Enfield Village School. Tim Josephson.
Aye.
Danielle Thompson.
Aye.
Kathleen Stacy.
Aye.
Hope Stragnow.
Aye.
Brewster Gove.
Yes.
And Cookie was yes, up in the unanimous. Thank you. And the third donation is from Fletcher Cole. And this check is for $2,500 to the Canaan Elementary Loud Librarian Fund in memory of his sister, Stephanie Nelson.
Oh, that's his sister, Grant.
Yeah.
I'll make the motion to accept the $2,500 from the Fletcher and, can't read it all, Foster, Cole, in memory of that for the library over at Canaan Elementary School, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Second,
Anything further? Comments, discussion?
many thanks.
This is the second one, I think. This is- Yeah.
Yeah, it's
That's
starting to
wow.
build up some
Yeah.
good librarians.
Yeah.
Yep. All
We're
right.
gonna quit the collection.
Yeah.
Like
Good
she
reading.
recently passed, and maybe this is an anniversary.
So roll call vote, Tim Josephson.
Aye.
Daniel Thompson.
Aye.
Kathleen Cece.
Aye.
Hope Stragnow.
Aye.
Brewster Gove.
Yes.
And Cookie Hebert, yes. Again, thank you so much for your generous donation.
Thank you. Can I ask something, Cookie, before you go into the warrant articles? In regards to these donations?
Sure.
We got seats that we could dedicate some of these people, put their names on the seats in the auditorium. I mean, probably under new business some other time, but don't you think we should do that at some point with some of these people that are doing this? I mean, it's not a big deal. It's a big deal putting their name on one of those seats, but we got room to put some on the seats over there at the auditorium. I would think it would be respectful if we, especially on the first one here, we just accepted the Mascoma Bank, another one, and even, some of these other ones. Because we used to ask for like $100 for the seat, for the little plaque on the seat, on the side of the arm of the chair in the auditorium. So maybe you can do this, bring this up at some other point, but I just thought I'd make a point of it about this donation thing, that we could do that in the auditorium with no big expense.
All right.
Okay.
Kathleen?
It's actually a conflict of interest because Friends of Mascoma did the upgrade to those upholstered seats, and they were handling the dedicated plaque. And I think it's ongoing.
Yeah.
It's a
So-
fundraiser.
Oh, well, okay. All right, whatever.
In some other way, though, we can,
No,
there's some other way. we
could
can do
approach
something.
them.
It's only like $100 that you
Not-
wanted $100 for each one of those plaques. That's all. I mean, so.
Well, we can maybe look at it in a future date. Okay. Thanks, Brewster. Warrant articles for 2022 for our upcoming meeting. I guess just put your eyes on and make sure everything is to what we voted on at the last meeting.
And I think, Cookie, if we wouldn't mind this evening assigning those to people who would speak
Oh, yeah.
to
That
them
was-
at the
that was
meeting.
my
That way,
next thing.
if people need to do some homework, we are able to help them with their homework.
Correct.
Mhm.
So, Rob will speak to the operating budget, yes?
Robin, typically Scott?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the support staff, the negotiated agreement. Is there anyone that would like to speak to that?
I'll talk about it if you want.
Okay, Tim? Okay. And the next one is the facilities capital reserve. And in particular, want to speak to that one? Oh, what was that look for? It was just a suggestion.
Sure,
You can
sure.
say no.
It's the biggest one. Let's admit it.
Okay, the accreditations.
I'll do that.
You're gonna do that, Danielle? Sure. And then we have the spin. Special education capital reserve. I think Kathleen said she'd be interested.
Sure, I thought I had to do
I heard
that.
that too, didn't you?
My hair is not so good, but I think
I have a little voice.
it's right in my range.
Look at that, I'm off the hook this year. I mean, I'm sorry.
Yeah, we all got one.
All right,
And Bruce, we got to get out.
okay.
You can't get me on any of them.
I really can't
He's
think of
got
one article.
his special duty.
Yeah.
I
That's
had,
right.
exactly. If I'm there, there's only one thing I do.
That's right.
Sergeant of Arms and then no, whatever you call it. I got it down hot.
Yeah.
Limit reconsideration.
Yeah, I already got that down. Bonnie already knows it's me, so.
Jester, what?
Here's
Okay.
my phone. Jeez. Excuse me a minute, I gotta go to the phone.
usually we have talking points, as you all know, we've all been through pretty much
Yeah.
all this. So, if you want to put some things together and then get together with Peter or Rob and kind of go over things and see what we should add and whatever, so it's your thing, so. I appreciate you all taking
I'm
on.
on a Zoom meeting in the school board thing.
Is he?
No kidding, Thank you.
He's used himself, I wrote it down, we're good.
Okay, all right, okay, so we're gonna move on now. Let's see. We have, let's see.
One or two policies.
Yeah, so we have
Policies.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is the first group, and they are for second reading.
A couple of reasons. All right.
And then the next group will be 2 to rescind, and the rest are first.
I'll make a motion for second reading and adoption, policy IKF, policy IHCD/LEB, policy LEB/IHCD, same policy, 2 different spots, and policy IK, earning as high school credit, policy IMBC, alternative credit options.
No, second.
Okay, Kathleen, for the second. I don't believe we had any changes, these are just being brought back.
No
straightforward
changes,
second
since
reading.
first reading.
I had one thing I thought of
Okay.
today. I just thought of it today, and you can say no if it. On high school graduation requirements, because we talked about health class absorbing a lot of the Mascoma 101.
Yes.
You feel it'd be a better description to say something like health and personal wellness? Or is it locked into saying health?
I think it needs to say health because of the state standards,
Okay,
Tim.
all right.
Otherwise, I like that personal wellness.
Okay,
So maybe in the course description, we would
Yeah.
add that in.
okay.
I like that, I
That's
do
a good
like
idea.
that a lot.
I just want to make sure like we didn't forget that and noted it, and maybe at the future, we change it into a half credit health and a half credit
Yes.
personal wellness,
Yeah.
and it's just one class you take together. and
Yes.
that's that.
I like that, and I like that a lot.
Okay.
All right, that was it, that's it.
All right, if everyone's all set with that, we'll do a roll call vote. I'm gonna get Tim Josephson.
Aye.
Danielle Thompson.
Aye.
Kathleen Stacy.
Aye.
Hope Strike now.
Oh, aye, sorry.
It's okay. Where's to go?
Now he's excused himself from the meeting, we're fine.
Okay, and Cookie Hebert is an aye, so those pass for the second reading and adoption.
So I'm sorry, the IKF, this is not to do with anything other than it's like a technical, if you look at page 2, it is a little hard to read because it looks like the line is, where it says English, 4 credits, and then mathematics, that encompasses algebra.
Oh, the spacing?
Yeah, it's just
Yeah.
a spacing issue.
Yep, I'll see if Martha can fix
Yeah,
that.
that just, I was looking at it, I'm like, I didn't quite get it, so.
Yeah. We can look at that.
Sorry.
That's easy.
It's an easy
For
one.
Martha, hopefully.
Okay, so the next 2 policies are GCC and GCD. They're duplicate policies that we are going to rescind.
I'll make a motion to rescind policy GCC and policy GCD.
Second.
Second. Anyone have any problem with rescinding these?
No?
Tim Josephson,
Aye.
Daniel Thompson.
Aye.
Kathleen Stacy.
Aye.
Hope Strike now.
Aye.
Yes. Yeah, no. Okay, those 2 policies are rescinded.
Thank you.
The following 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 policies are for first reading.
So I'll make the motion that we approve for first reading. Policy BEDDA, Board Meeting Rules of Procedure and Order. Policy BEDD, Rules of Order. Policy BEDD-R, Rules of Order Procedures. The next one. Policy BEDH, Public Comment and Participation in Board Meetings. Policy BEDB, Agenda Preparation and Dissemination. Policy BBBBC, Board Member or District Officer Resignation. Policy BEC, Non-Public Sessions. Policy BEDG, Meeting Minutes. And policy IMBA, Distance Education.
Second, Danielle Thompson, please, second, thank you. Okay.
So.
I have one suggestion on BEDDA. That's okay. That's the first one.
BEDDA?
BEDDA, the first,
Okay,
board meeting rules of procedure and order. The number 14, where it says abstentions are noted and counted but do not affect the outcome of the vote. I wonder if it's helpful to put before that, say, to abstain means to not vote, which is what it says in the Roberts Rule of Order. I know I was a little confused when I first started, that you're actually choosing to not vote. And then abstentions are noted and counted, just a suggestion.
most of the time, as far as abstentions, it's, contractual issues or something to that effect where a board member would have a
Yeah,
conflict.
usually, yeah,
Right,
but it's, but it does mean you're not voting, so.
So you're asking like the definition of abstention?
Yeah, just adding that definition before you say they're counted, and I'm just putting it out there, I just know
okay.
that, sometimes it's,
Maybe they're not counted, they're just recorded. Because you don't count something that doesn't matter. I mean, if you're not voting, it doesn't matter.
right.
I do believe, we do count them though.
We
We
do,
note them.
We note them,
yes, we do.
right, they don't count. Because
Like
it's a
counted
non-vote.
like 1, 2, 3,
Right.
but like counted towards the, I think it's in our definition of counted that I'm missing what you're
Right.
saying.
Right.
Yeah, I thought that if this came from the school board association, they would have thought that out a little more.
Well, no, I'm not objecting to that they're noted and counted, yes, they're
Yeah.
noted, and then
Oh.
if there's more than one, they're counted.
Yes,
Technically,
yeah.
that's what they're saying there, I get that. I was just suggesting that we add, to abstain means to not vote, which
No,
is,
that isn't what it is. I'm sorry, I got in the middle of this. I had to take a phone call, so. Abstaining doesn't mean that. It means that you're not voting yes, you're not voting no. That's what it means. Abstain means.
you're not voting.
No, that isn't.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
No, it isn't, because it doesn't, because when Charlie was on there, Silver along with Barney, along with Girding always, if we said abstain, he made a note that we were voting no. So I don't know, maybe you have to look into
Yeah, that's
that.
not right, though.
No, that's why I
'cause
said-
the
I know.
abstention- I know you know.
That's not accurate.
No, that's not what, the abstentions usually were followed with an explanation from the board member. Whether it would be, like I said, a contractual issue, a spouse works for us, or something to that effect.
Or I was not at that meeting to approve the minutes.
Exactly.
Yeah,
So-
that's the only time. It shouldn't be like, I don't want to vote,
Right.
because
It
that
shouldn't
happens.
be
and then
used
that-
as a cop-out not to vote.
Right.
That's the bottom line. And that's how I feel about the use of abstention.
So that's why Robert Rules of Order, to abstain means to not vote. That's page
Nah.
40.
I think
No,
it's easier to
I
put it
disagree.
beside it.
Yeah, sure. Okay. Can live with that. What else was the other one?
Do I need to make a motion? to
Just,
add that?
this is just a stylistic thing.
Sure.
And it would also impact IKF, the high school graduation that we just approved. We go back and forth on subheads, whether or not they have a period at the end of them. I prefer, it's a cleaner look to not have a period at the end of them.
Right.
Yeah.
So like
Oh,
A, general principles, we should delete the
Period.
period.
Yeah.
And then also on page 2 of BEVDA, number 6, there's 2 periods at the end of that. Although, do you need a period for et cetera, technically?
Technically, I think so.
It looks so weird with 2 periods.
I know.
If it's at the end of the sentence, no.
Okay,
Yeah,
so.
it doesn't.
Oh, yeah,
it
yeah.
doesn't. You don't need to
Thank
in
you.
there.
This is not dramatically different as to what we already have.
No.
It's just cleaned up
It's just,
and matches what the school board
yeah,
says.
if we're gonna be touching these things anyway, like,
Yeah.
Yeah. Just follow the format.
yeah.
So I have 2 corrections for the motion. It seems we have 2 policies in the midst of this among that need to be rescinded, so we'll have to pull them out of the first motion.
Oh, I didn't name them, I skipped them.
Oh, you did?
I skipped them.
Oh, you're so good. Okay. I'm like, oh, no. So,
No.
let me just get that aside.
Roll the tape.
Does anyone have anything else? I'm basically.
Hey, what's the motion you got on the floor? Because I had to take this phone call.
First reading of that very long list.
Which of all of them?
Yeah, the second page of the agenda, all the ones that start with a B.
Yeah, I got all that in front of me, yeah.
Yep.
Oh, I'm wearing two hats tonight, I'm sorry. More than two hats.
The policy IMBA,
Yes,
the
the distant education.
distance education, the 1, 2, 3, 4, the fifth paragraph. It's pretty specific when it says students must be approved by the building principal. But in this last, the last sentence, it says the syllabus must be submitted for review, but it doesn't say by anybody. I would suggest maybe you keep it consistent with to the building principal or designee. I don't know, Amanda, if that seems.
Where are you, Hope?
Fifth paragraph, last sentence.
It says approved
The
distant
syllabus
education.
must be submitted for review, but it doesn't really say.
To whom?
Yeah, so I mean, I might,
Yeah.
to the building principal or designee.
I would say superintendent or designate.
Oh, well,
She
the other
can-
one said building principal, that's why I just threw it.
Right.
I don't know who.
Oh,
I
yeah,
have
I
no
see.
idea who it should go to.
I'm just thinking for graduation requirements and stuff like that, but what, yeah, if the other one says building principal, then.
Or when one of them says superintendent too, so sometimes, I don't know. I just was saying it should say to whom.
Okay.
And I will say while we have IMBA up, you will notice that this is, this does not have an update from the New Hampshire School Board Association since 2015, when you all last approved it and rewrote it. However, there are a couple of things that were left out of the policy, and those things were terms like online learning opportunities. So we're basically talking about the first paragraph on this policy. We added online learning opportunities in sentence 2 and sentence 3. In sentence 3, paragraph 1, we also added, but is not limited to. We also added 1, 2, 3, 4, online, line 4, sentence line 4, internet online based is also added in. Those were not in the policy that is currently on the books. So I am actually asking the board tonight if they would waive the second reading of this and approve it right away, because this would allow us, if we needed to shift to remote instruction, the ability to do so. Currently, Hope, you would be right here unless you want to write a plan for me. Currently, Angel is working on a plan that answers the questions that went with some other remote type learning activities, typically known as blizzard bags, which are no longer known as blizzard bags throughout the state, that other school districts have in place and are able to use per this policy. So Angel is currently working on that plan, but I need this policy to say these key words. So if the board would be so kind as to approve this, waive the second reading, approve it for adoption, waive the second reading with the idea that we add in building principal or designee to that fifth paragraph, that would be greatly appreciated.
So the original motion will pull out the IMBA, Pamela.
Yeah, I will withdraw that
Thank you.
motion.
I apologize for not catching
On that last one, and we'll do a
And
separate
I agree
motion
with
later.
this amended second. All right, so we'll do the first reading pack, then we'll do this IMBA separate, and then we'll do the 2 rescindings of the other 2.
No, we'll do that next week.
What?
We wouldn't do the ones we rescind, we'd have to do after we adopt the new policies, right?
Correct.
So why would they?
I don't know, probably just to keep track.
Okay. All right.
Otherwise, we'll let them
I'll
run.
just keep those.
Just keep track, just keep
All
track.
right. Any further discussion, Kamala or Rob? No,
Just
shut
don't
it
touch
down.
the screen, please.
Oh, yeah. Thank you. Good on.
All right. We'll do another roll call vote. Tim Josephson,
Aye?
Daniel Thompson,
Aye.
Kathleen Stacy,
I,
Hope Stragnow,
Aye.
Cookie Hebert, yes, Bruce to go.
Yes,
Those policies passed for the first reading. They will come back next time for second reading and adoption.
I'll make a motion that we approve for first reading, waive the second reading, and adopt policy IMBA.
I'll second it.
Thank you, Brewster. Any further discussion? Okay. We'll do another roll call. Tim Josephson,
Aye?
Daniel Thompson,
Aye.
Kathleen Stacy, Hope Stragnow,
Aye.
Cookie Hebert, yes, Bruce to go.
Yes. I said yes. I don't know if you heard me or not, but,
I heard you.
okay, gotcha. I think we gotta do that first and second all the time. That'd be great.
So, agenda items for our next meeting? Does anyone have anything in particular besides committee reports, deliberative session discussion, and the 2022-2023 calendar?
I would like to ask the board that if we could just waive the presentation. We have promised the public that we would be looking at COVID updates on the second meeting of the month as a presentation. I would ask the board to waive that. I'd be happy to put it in my report. I don't foresee much changing or mitigation strategies changing at this point. I'd like to use that presentation time instead for the athletic director, for the tech director, and for some of our students to come in and present to the board a couple of clubs that they would like to start. I don't want to give it away, but I would like you all to hear about some of these clubs from some of our students who are excited to try it, from some of our adults who are excited to provide these opportunities, and then to vote to approve those. So if you all would like that, I think that would be a great, like, uplifting way to have a meeting.
Yeah.
Like, I'll be honest,
Yeah.
right? Like, let's
Yeah.
hear from some kids.
That's right.
They can even zoom in if they wanted to, you know? and- Yeah.
Get a student rep yet for the board?
I do not have a student rep for
But I
you,
don't know if you
Brewster.
saw your
Yes, I
email,
did.
but they're giving out scholarships
scholarship,
now.
yeah.
to
Oh,
student reps.
yay!
Yeah, so I was super happy when I saw that. They actually did it.
Nice.
Congratulations to all of you for getting that going, so thank you.
you know, I'm a little disappointed that we don't utilize that billboard down at the end of the driveway. Because every time I go by, it's about building the path you want to take. And that's fine, but I would like to see something about the student rep position and how you're eligible for this unique scholarship. And it's the first time it's available. And that would get the community wondering, what's the student rep position, you know?
Well, I would recommend they put it in the morning, in the announcements here at the
Absolutely,
school.
yeah.
Because if they still don't have one, then that might,
Yeah.
that might dangle.
They were really in
Yeah.
trouble.
Yeah, including the scholarship opportunity.
Yeah,
But
25.
I don't think we utilize that
No.
billboard enough.
I'm working on a policy.
Okay.
I'm working on a policy, it's taking me a long time.
You go, Karen.
Yeah. Anyone else? Rob?
I have one small thing. think I'm supposed to start collecting signatures for the default cover page to submit to the Department of Revenue Administration.
Okay.
So I can pass this around if you would
Yeah,
mind.
sure.
The present members can sign it.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Anyone else?
Cookie, you have one?
I do.
It's too bad I didn't know that. I would have signed it today when I came in to get my packet.
That used to be the legal standard, is that it had to be a code and not a black and white, so they could quickly identify copies.
Did you need a phone?
Okay. That makes sense, though.
Need a phone?
Just the default budget, Rob?
I do have,
Is this,
So-
is that what they're signing right now?
Yes,
Yeah.
the
Just the default, okay.
Yep.
So,
Rob, you almost made it through budget season.
I know.
Almost there.
So I just wanted to talk a little bit about the report for curriculum and assessment update for Angel. I don't know if everyone had seen it. But if you get the opportunity to review it online, it is unbelievable. I read through my whole packet, and all those policies and this and that, right? And I got to her report, and it was so interactive. It was amazing. I did send her an email thanking her for that. It was breathtaking, and I really would like to have that somewhere so that the community can see the work that's involved in what she's doing and how she's interacting with our staff and students and going above and beyond to make sure that they have every resource imaginable. I have to tell you, I was doing some of those tests, the little puzzles and things. I was so frustrated with one of them. My husband came in and said, "What are you doing?" I said, "I'm taking a middle school test. This is not good."
Yeah, the online version of it has videos and everything,
Yeah.
like built right in. It's so nice. So thank you, Angel. Yeah.
So I would really like to see if there's something, can we put it through our Facebook page, so it's an interactive video, so they can actually click on it and look at it?
So, I mean, putting a link to a document is not gonna be very engaging. If there were specific video links, those could be shared and would be a little bit more, but
Yeah.
I wouldn't suggest putting this on there. I think it's a bit
Is
too
it?
much.
Yeah.
I think if there was a place on the website.
Yeah.
It's there right now,
Yeah.
under curriculum on the district
Okay.
page,
Okay.
but you have to go there on purpose, looking
Yeah.
for it,
Yeah.
it's not gonna pop
In other words,
up.
it's not gonna be a
Right.
window that pops up and you see
Right.
it.
Yeah.
Right.
You have
Well,
to
we
go
could
looking
push
for it.
it.
I can make, so there's a way to make, like, the news ones that are on the front page, and then you click that, and then you go inside.
Mhm.
So the most recent COVID updates.
Yeah.
For those
Yeah.
are a news item right now, so if you go to the district page, you see them right away, you can click and go there, instead of having to go to the COVID page and then look, so they come up so people know, I can put it there.
It was
There's
just.
no way to make it interactive on Facebook.
Yeah, right,
Facebook
right.
could take you somewhere else.
Right.
And we could do something like wonderful work being done at MVRSD, new curriculum directors making great changes or
Yeah,
doing
right.
great work.
Yeah,
And then if they wanted to click there and go read more, they could.
right.
But there's no way to make the Facebook, you have to leave Facebook
Yeah.
to be interactive.
Yeah.
It's just,
Yeah.
I agree with
Yeah.
Cookie, I mean, this is fabulous,
Oh my
and
gosh.
also there is, back to NHSBA review, there's lots of interesting curriculum with parents now, in terms of, I think they want more transparency, be able to see it and touch it and feel it, so I think that's a
Yeah.
good thought.
yeah, so, but I told her I was gonna give her a shout out tonight, because I just thought it was absolutely fabulous, and I think she's done an awesome job since she's been here, so
Mhm.
I really wanted to let her know that we much appreciated, so.
Yeah.
I like the spotlights too on new people, because I don't know these, I don't see these
Right.
people, so now, my kid was telling me, oh yeah, we got a new librarian at IRS, so now I'm reading this much, wow, that's really neat.
Yeah.
Right.
Cool, very
Right.
cool.
So, okay, we only see names on paper,
Yeah.
for the most part,
Yeah.
not unless you're in the schools,
Yeah.
So sometimes that can be, kind of a gray area, we don't get to meet everybody in person until we get to a certain function or something, but I don't know, I just figured I'd just make sure that it's in the minutes, so that way people can actually go and look now, and hopefully, see what we see, so. All right, do we have any public comment?
There's nobody here.
Nobody's here.
here.
Personnel, resignations and nominations, Amanda?
I do actually have a resignation that came in today. Thank you, Tim.
Well, that makes sense, actually. Read it.
Thank you.
It's a little busy.
So you do have the sheet in front of you. That resignation is for Mary Ignacio. She is our special ed clerical at the Indian River School, and she will be leaving us to go and work with her mom at the new restaurant. So we hate to lose her, but wish them the best. It looks like they're very busy, so I think that's
Awesome.
wonderful.
I can't wait to go.
Okay, well, any other discussion? Seeing none? Entertain a motion?
I'll make a motion to go to non-public in accordance with RSA 91A3, Roman 2.
No.
Do we have to
Okay.
accept the resignation?
Oh,
Yeah,
this
can we-
thing, oh, sorry, I was looking at non-public. I'll make a motion to accept the resignation with regret.
Second.
Danielle Thompson, okay. Anything further? Okay, Tim Josephson,
Aye.
Danielle Thompson,
Aye.
Kathleen Stacy,
I,
Hope Stragnow,
Aye.
Bruce Jago,
Yes.
and Katie Hibbert, yes. Resignation is accepted with regret. Okay, now we're gonna go into non.
I assume we have non-public.
We do have non-public. Would you add in reputation for me, Tim?
All right, I'll make a motion to go into non-public in accordance with RSA 91-A, colon 3, Roman 2B, and whatever reputation is. C?
Second.
R? Can't be that easy.
It's not that easy.
All right, Bruce, thank you. Okay, Tim Josephson.
Yes.
Danielle Thompson.
Yes.
Kathleen Stacy.
yes.
Hope Stragnow,
Yes.
Bruce Jago,
Yes.
Cookie Hebert, yes, we are in non-public.
Oh, you got muted here. You guys just left me. What happened?